I don't want to give too much away, but I think most folks that are familiar with Aaron Hernandez understands that he was at least, to say the least, very bi-curious. He was at least a bi-male, right? At the very least. And I would venture a guess that he was much, much more gay than he was bi. But that's me drawing some pretty broad assumptions here, labeling him, putting him in a little bit of a box, which I probably shouldn't do that. But check out the documentary. It's super interesting because it was amazing to see the level of homophobia that existed like in his little area there. And it hits really home for me because it feels very familiar to kind of the levels, kind of not so pointed homophobia that most of us grew up with. So I grew up with that, right? I didn't come out of the closet until I was like, mid-20s. Like it took me a while because the homophobia is very similar to kind of, again, what hits home with that is like seeing it. It's not so much like this. It's not so much this idea that people are just going around going, hey, look, there's a faggot. We hate those people. It's more of like kind of the not so pointed kind of homophobia where it's like the, kind of unspoken rule that being gay makes you less. Right. Or the unspoken kind of rule that if you are gay, you shut up about it and you deal with that. Right. You just don't tell anybody about that. Or kind of the kind of around the way kind of comments of like, oh, look at that sissy. What a fag. Those kind of things where that was kind of the level of homophobia. Nobody was really like, oh, there's a fag. Get him. Right. It was like, burn him at the stake or anything like that. But it was present and you could feel it like it was in the air. You could almost feel it in the air. It was just like it was there. It was just there. So to kind of hear those stories, like from the folks that were around him, to see those things, to hear like his friends and like some of his coaches and stuff be like, yeah, at the time I totally would have probably not been cool with that. Would have probably not been cool with him, yeah. But now looking back, it would have been fine. But not then. Little too late. Just a little bit too late there. So that's a good one. I've been completely obsessed with those, that one as well. So if you haven't checked that, you totally should. So that's my spiel on Netflix for the day. I mean, 1,000 Pound Sisters, 600 Pound Life, Aaron Hernandez. You know what the saddest thing about that was too, though, is if Aaron Hernandez would have just owned that, and I know it's looking back, hindsight, blah, 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 I know. But if he'd have just owned that, he would have been a gay icon. Like good looking dude, super masculine, jock football player guy, tatted up, big guy, he would have been gay icon, instant icon status, right? Just instant icon status. But I don't know. Go watch the documentary. I'll let you be the judge of that. On to random questions. I don't know why I like these so much. I just fucking do. I just like these dumbass questions. So here we go. Would you rather be without elbows or be without knees? So let me say this. I want to hear your answers too. So go over to the websites, palehorsemedia.co, whatever, slide into the DMs. Let me know the answers to some of your questions and send me some questions that you would like for me to answer. I think that would be fun. The stupider, I guess that's a word, dumber, the dumberest, the better. Let me know. So would you rather be without elbows or without knees? I don't know. That was tough. So I think, so either way, I think you're going to be like locked in, right? So I'm thinking like without knees, you're going to be like peg leg. Right? It's going to be like just straight, no bend, right? Peg leg. You're not going to have a joint there anymore. So it's going to be kind of like click, 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 kind of that instant waddle. And I guess it'd be kind of the same thing without elbows. I'm going to have to go maybe without knees. I'm thinking because I can still get around. I can still walk, right? I'm going to have to maybe figure out how to drive a car, but that would be the same on either end because you're just going to be kind of like locked in. That's going to be weird. I don't know. Would you rather fart really loudly or poop your pants silently? Okay, I would rather fart really loudly. That should be a given. I think if someone goes with poop your pants silently, you're fucking insane. You need to see a therapist. Would you rather live one life that lasts 1,000 years or live 10 lives that last 100 years each? I think 1,000 years would be better because it seems like if you're doing that 10 times over, about the time, and I guess it's according to if you have knowledge. If you have knowledge of the previous life you lived, I'd probably go with the 10 that last 100 because if you're like rebooting every single time, I don't think it'd be much fun because I think 1,000 years straight, you'd be able to accomplish some amazing fucking shit. I think that would be better. Would you rather be a clown who distracts the bull or the cowboy who rides the bull all day long? Now, mad respect for those clowns. If you ever watch that shit, we went to a radio a couple of years ago and it's fucking intense to watch both sides of. There's no one. out of all of those folks that get into that ring with those bulls, they are fucking insane and tough as nails. So I will just say that right now, because either way, you're on the business end of a 1,000-pound animal. Like it's insane. It's insane to watch that. So mad respect to those folks. Would you rather have to go to the bathroom in a giant litter box in your house, or anywhere you want, but only outside? So hold on. Would you rather have to go to the bathroom in a giant litter box in your house, or anywhere you want, but outside? Oh, outside. I'm a hillbilly. Like I've told you, like part of our house shopping plan is to make sure that we can pee off the porch of our house, right? Like that's part of the plan. Like, so that's a requirement. So for sure, outside. Could you imagine a human litter box? How fucking horrible that would be. Like, I'm obsessed with like these little like smush face, like Persian cats. You know which ones I'm talking about? The ones that's got like the kind of the big kind of whopped eyes, and like the tongue that's always hanging out. So I'm not even a cat person, but they're different. Like they're almost like the dog of the cat world. Like they're very like attention. They're super cool, right? And I'm like, they look on the outside how I feel on the inside. So like they're kind of, I know sloth is kind of my spirit animal, but that would be like a close second. They're kind of right there. So I've been looking at those, but the only deterrent, once we move, let me say that too. No more pets. We've got 2 dogs. We've got a Malinois. We've got a Yorkie Poo. I know, pretty interesting size disparity there, but we're not going to get any more pets until we get into like a real fucking house. I'm so tired of like dogs living on top of dogs, living on top of kids, living on top of us. Like we need some space. But still, the only deterrent with that is like litter box, because litter boxes are wretched. Litter boxes are rank. They are awful. When you go to hell, I'm sure hell smells like a litter box, right? So could you imagine, cat litter box is bad, but could you imagine a human-sized litter box that humans frequent, right? Well, humans frequent. Would you rather go about your normal day naked or fall asleep for you? Oh, normal day naked all day. I don't know. They both sound wonderful to me. That might be fun. Would you rather always wear earmuffs or nose plug? Earmuffs? Yeah, earmuffs probably. Would you rather have a Texas accent and live in New York, or a New York accent and live in Texas? Oh, that one's tough. Because so I get, whether right or wrong, and all my Texan friends out there, I know, don't get mad at me, because I know you guys can hear the difference. Y'all can hear the difference. But most other places, when I come to Arizona, most folks are like, oh, what part of Texas are you from? And so my accent got a little mixed up because, I grew up in the mountains, and I've told you when I go back, it gets on thick. I start talking like a hillbilly when I get back to Virginia, and then I come back and it kind of wears off again. But the difference is so I traveled all through kind of the Southeast too. So, and I spent a little bit of time in Texas, not a lot. But so I grew up Southwest Virginia. I spent a lot of time in North Carolina, South Carolina, kind of on into the South, spent some time in Mississippi, and then coming to Arizona, and then kind of all that stuff mixes together, a little spotty stuff here or there, couple weeks in Texas here, a couple weeks there, just traveling around for work, doing that kind of stuff. And then so living in Arizona for 10 plus years now, it just kind of settled into what some people call, they ask, they're like, oh, so you're from what part of Texas? And I'm like, Virginia. They're like, oh, really? Like, you sound like you're from Texas, except for my Texan friends. They can always tell the difference. But to get back to the question is, I think that it would be easier. It would be easier to have a New York accent and live in Texas. I feel like New York is less accepting. Yeah, for sure. Like, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Less accepting, right? Because you're going to roll up in there and be like, what a fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. Now, you go to Texas, like, they don't give a fuck. So that's the difference. Like, you're going to get judged in New York. I'm like, what the fuck did this hillbilly learn to read? Can they even read? Where's your Quincom pipe, pawpaw? Right? And you go to Texas, it's not like that. Now, if you go to Texas and you act like a New York shithead, then, your accent's not having anything to do with it. But Texas is one of the most open and accepting places I've ever visited. Thought it was a blast. I think it's a lot of fun. They're very similar to kind of how I grew up. Like, you hungry? I'll make you a sandwich. You need a shirt? I'll take the one off my back. You're a dickhead? I'll be a dickhead back. Would you rather wear a push-up bra all day long, every day, or stiletto heels all day long? So being a dude, I don't know. I think stilettos. I think I could rock stilettos pretty good. I think I could rock them. I think I could really, really rock them. I think I could kill it. I think I'd absolutely kill it. Would you rather have to get up at dawn or stay up 3 a.m. every day? Would you rather have to get up at dawn or stay up until 3 a.m. every day? I'll just get up at dawn. That's what I do right now. Like I come to the studio, right? I come to the studio, I get some shit done early, then I do my normal day job, and then I do some shit after. So like I'm up at dawn anyways. I'm up at like 4:30 every morning, as fucking insane as that is. That's back to that kind of self-help care thing I've got going on. That's been helping me a ton. It's just getting my schedule back in order. I mean, that's been helping me an absolute a ton. Just getting up, forcing myself to go do my normal work, do it on like a real schedule, even though, you know, where that's not how work happens anymore. That's been helping me a ton. That's it. I think I'm done with questions. I think that's all I've got. I think I'm completely done. We've been rolling for a few minutes now. I think that's it. We shoot for like 20. We shoot for 20, 25 minutes, less than 30. So I think we're right there at that magic sweet spot. So that's all I've got. Make sure you head over to palehorsemedia.co. Check out the merch store. We've got all new Hey Y'all hats, Hey Y'all shirts. We've got Y'all Means All. That's one of my favorites. I love those shirts. I buy like 10 of them from myself, right? Y'all Means All and the Hey Y'all hats. Show your inner redneck, your inner hillbilly, your inner Texan even, right? That's the one cool thing about y'all is y'all transcends, right? Y'all can be in the mountains of Appalachia from our hillbilly friends such as me to, you name it, down into the South, down into Louisiana, over into the hill country of Texas. I mean, y'all transcends. It brings all of y'all together from our kind of hillbilly redneck family. Y'all goes across family lines as far as it goes with Southern and hillbilly and those things. So that's all I've got. Sam Goodman, I'm out of here. Talk to you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.